Yo, welcome to Team Rad Titan. Today we've got a gem, absolute gem for you. We're going to be reviewing the Narin Crow kit. This was painted by Ian Wilkinson. It's Alex's pride and joy. So we're going to be going over it, looking at it, finer detail, and telling you what we think. So stay tuned, yeah?
Boom. Alright everyone, so we're back. As Gio was saying, we are looking at the Narin Crow. This comes as an unpainted kit, and then I sent it off to Ian Wilkinson and he worked his magic on it. I literally had this piece sitting in a box
For years.
I couldn't even tell you how long. Two and a half years? Yeah.
I still think you made the right decision. I maintain that.
Yeah.
Because I do believe that Ian's work has just been going from strength to strength, and I honestly think, because this is actually a really hard paint up.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot of blacks and bits and pieces and different materials that are black, and you need to really do the work. And I think you did the right. I think it happened. What do you say? Serendipity? Is that the word?
I think it is, yeah.
I think it's the word serendipity. It happens at the right time for you, and I really truly believe that it did. Because I thought you were retarded keeping this for as long as you did, and then
you sold it. I nearly sold it a couple of times. I even listed it to sell. I think I was a bit. Well, what actually happened was I saw one painted by John Alred. He's done a really good job. I actually think it was Chris Bowles' piece, and I think Chris Bowles reviewed it, but I think something happened and he lost his review. But I remember seeing it. I contacted them, found out about it, whatever, and then I got in touch with. I think I put up a post or I commented on it. It was something along those lines, and I said, like, "Wow, it looks amazing." A guy I know in Thailand, Ratawik, he contacted me and he goes, "Do you want one?" And at the time, custom pieces were getting stupidly expensive. I thought to myself, I'm not going to pay the price that this is going to be. And I humoured him. So I said, like, sure, how much? And I think he said like $300 for the kit. And I was just like,
wow,
okay, I'll take it. He said basically that he knew Narin personally. Narin actually signed the underside of the base for me. And he also signed... I don't know where I've got it. I think it might be in here. No. But he basically...
That would have been lucky.
Yeah,
it was just there, wouldn't it?
It would have been very lucky. But I've got like a postcard as well. And it's like the picture of
Wish
the
you were
statue.
here.
And he signed that as well. Like, he actually signed Rad Titan on it. Nice. And so, yeah, that was great. The guy got that for me. And then by chance as well, I have another friend in Thailand. She was coming over. So she put it in her suitcase, and I feel really bad because it's pretty heavy. It's actually really heavy, so I do feel bad because she was telling me it's going to take up a lot of room in her bag, and I'm like, don't be fucking stupid. Look at this, tiny,
silly woman.
It's small and this, and literally she brought it over for me, and when she brought it over, she broke the back of the chair.
Victims, aren't we all?
So I think because of that breaking the way it did,
I
thought to myself, if I send this off, if I pay to get this assembled, pay to get this painted, I'm going to be gutted if then it turns up at my house in pieces. So that kind of put me off quite a lot. I think then, so I literally had it sitting in a box for 3 years. I don't know, I was just on one day, I just thought to myself, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to send it to Ian. I spoke to him. He said he's just had a cancellation. He'll slot me in. I was like, yep, sure. I told him what I wanted. I didn't really tell him much, to be honest. I just said to him about the face. Just make sure the face looks like it's
doesn't
skin.
look like Sting.
Yeah. Make sure it looks like you can see the skin tones underneath, because I've seen some where it looks like it's just a mine. It looks like it's really heavy white paint and you don't see the tones underneath. So yeah, Ian done a fantastic job. That's my long-winded version of it. I absolutely love the movie The Crow. A huge fan. 93, 94, I can't remember. One of those
Cult
years
classic
it came
now.
out.
Brandon Lee lost his life making that film.
Yeah, he lost his life during the film.
Isn't it Funboy that shot him?
Yeah, Michael. I can't remember his name now, but yeah,
Funboy shot him.
Yeah.
I think it's that. The scene, you know, where he comes into the room.
Yeah.
And he, Jesus Christ, walks into a hotel.
Yeah, he goes.
And he puts a hand over the gun and all that. I think it's that moment. I think it's that scene. Where
so.
he takes a shot at him and that, and it's a blank.
No, it's not actually.
What the fuck's the matter with you? Stupid ass hair?
Do you know what it is? Is the scene when he shoots him in the back.
In
the flashback.
The flashback bit, yeah, that was it.
He shoots him in
because he does hit him from behind. Yeah, that's it. I think it was.
It was basically something to do with like a semi-blank, or there was shrapnel in the actual barrel of the gun. It went through and it went straight through his
Conspiracy theory, man. Fucking
sternum.
well ending the lead bloodline. That is
inside.
blatant.
But I showed my girlfriend the movie recently, and she absolutely loved it. I watched it again. Like when I watched it with her.
I loved this film.
I love the movie. Absolutely love it. Anyway, also directed on some great movies like Dark City, and I even like iRobot. And
iRobot's a wicked film with Will Smith.
He does Gods of Egypt, which
I like that.
I think Gods of Egypt has some elements that are good, but the CGI killed it. Unfortunately. Going on to the piece. Sorry,
Rambling. This is Rambling Rad Titan. You know where we are.
We actually had some comments of people saying, if you actually stayed on point and did your videos when you were on point, I might actually watch more of them. And we're like, well, fuck off then.
You're part of the family, man. It's a ramble set. If you want a script, it's not the place to come.
So the base of this, you've done a really good job. Again, I don't know how well this comes out on camera.
Crazy.
Because these lights kind of do bleach a lot of stuff out, and they kind of make it hard to see certain things. But you can see all the different shades in these rocks. All the cracks have been done there, and you've got the kind of like oranges of like where there's almost like copper or stuff in the rocks. If you go around to the back,
there's oranges, browns, yellows.
There is the number
Nice.
there, so this is like number 39, Narin. And also, if you come around the front, it has a Crow nameplate. On the Crow nameplate, it's done really well. The actual Crow wording is raised, and then where it's actually the black part is actually like a pleather underneath, almost like a plastic lid.
Nice.
That's done really well. Then you go onto the throne, and it's like a cherry kind of wood, like a the colours of it.
Almost like rosewood.
Yeah, and you can see the way Ian has done the grain on it is really impressive. The grain on it, and then also like around the bottom, I don't know what it's like on your side, but like here, where you can see where it's been scuffed.
Yeah, of course.
So where like this chair leg has been like scuffed along the floor, and he's got like all these light parts here,
like exposed, like a wood.
Yeah, and then it goes there. Then also on the back, this was like the first part I took out, actually, the back of it here, and this was repaired.
I like that he's done that.
Yeah.
That's one of my favourite parts of the paint, is how he's actually intelligently done the way grains of wood would actually be, because they're in panels, they're in lines, aren't they? So he's actually this one sort of goes up, and then that one's across, then that one's up and across. So it actually works really well.
Yeah, and then you go on to the kind of cushions as well, and you can see that it's almost like on the effect on myself.
Yeah, it is actually.
You can't really see it here because I don't really see it this side, but on the other side where
it's a mottled, isn't it? A blacky red leather.
Yeah, so this is like a dark brown, and when you rub against it, the more you rub against it, the reds bleed through, and that's kind of what this has on there. And
the pose of the Crow is actually very similar to Magneto on Throne,
Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah.
It's actually really similar. The way that he's arched his position, and the way that one leg is slightly bent and the other leg is straight out like that.
Funny thing is, this ain't even in the film.
No, it's from a promo.
It's promo shots.
Yeah, promo shots, I remember.
The pose is he's very relaxed, very calm. But one of the things as well is
sinister. It's a sinister pose.
Yeah,
it is. It's quite sinister. It's almost, if you look at it, it's almost like plotting.
Yeah,
he is sort of. He's got his hands in a sinister way, because his hand is like semi-clenched, and this hand's over the top, which is it is an aggressive position, and it's also a very contemplatory. Place. So it's like he's sitting, and when you look at where his eyes and the way that his eyes are positioned, he's like staring into space. He's seeing past where he is. So the way I see it is he's sitting with his hand over, and he's thinking about killing all of those people.
He was already dead. He died a year ago.
the moment he touched her. They're all dead. They just don't know it yet.
Yeah.
That's what he's thinking about. Getting
They're already
vengeance.
dead.
They're already dead. They just don't know
A
it
year
yet.
ago. Just don't know it yet.
Yeah, it's got that feel to it, which I love. I think it's very, very, very. This is what I prefer. I know that there's that crow with him on the grave and the thing and the guitar and thing. I don't think that captured it very well. I didn't like that. I think this is.
Well, that was more but the aim towards the comic book.
I know, but I didn't like it.
Is that gasoline I smell?
This has a little bit more of that sort of menace to me. Much more menace. Because it's dark, The Crow. Crow's fucking dark film as hell.
The thing about The Crow is like it's not very complex, and it's not like it's not like, I mean, Jordan Shell, he goes into how he's like a big sculptor in the movie industry. He absolutely hates it, and he says that he's like, why the fuck would The Crow pick him? He's just another fucking guy, and there's nothing special, and blah blah. And he goes into a big rant about it. But I think that there's a real romance in the movie, and I watched it at the right time in my life where it really made an impact. I mean, we would have been like 14 when we watched this.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
You know? And I remember watching it with you and Justin as well.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, and going back, sorry, keep going away. Going back onto the statue as well, I mean, like, you know, one of the most amazing things that Ian has managed to do, and one of my friends, he actually does painting himself, and I was actually going to get him to paint it, but he's a lazy fuck. If he's watching, you are a lazy fuck, and you know it.
You fish finger fuck!
And he basically was telling me he would paint it, but, you know, if you can't get anyone who would, like, you know, do it, but...
Yeah, it's not what you want to hear, really.
I knew he would do a fantastic job, but he was a bit like, when I told him I'd sent it, he wanted to see pictures, because, again, he's a huge Crow fan, but he's also a painter. And when he saw the pictures, he was like, the guy's done an amazing job. He actually said it. He bitches about nearly every one of my statues about how they're painted, but most of them are painted by a factory. But he went through it. He goes, the guy knows what he's doing. He's gone into the boots. All the boots are different. So the toe part of the boot, he's even done it where the sole of the boot is like a rubbery look, and then it kind of goes into like a gloss kind of area on the toes. It goes into like a more of a kind of matty black there, and then he's even done the eyes of the laces going there. But then it goes into the leather trousers. I don't know what this is. I call it bondage tape. It goes into the bondage tape.
It's almost like electrical tape, isn't it?
Well,
Black
I
electrical
don't
tape.
think it's electrical tape, because I don't think it's sticky, because like it'll be bondage stuff, because then you wrap it on and there's no stick to it.
Do you?
Oh yeah. That's why it's going all around his hands. And then he goes back into then like a material top, and then the bondage tape around his stomach and hands as well. And then also the black of his hair, the black of the makeup on his face. And it's almost like, you know, he's captured so many different blacks. And it's really hard to explain, because, you know, when you look into it,
It gives it texture.
How, you know, how...
If you do the colour of the paint right, it gives the texture that isn't
50
there.
Shades of Black.
Yeah, it gives texture to something that isn't textured, because it isn't textured. So you have to paint it correctly to make the texture there, and that's a skill. That's a high end skill.
Well, there's a mixture of the mattes and the glosses, I mean,
And the shades.
He's done an absolutely, you know, amazing job. And
He's a genius. Guy's a genius.
There was an element of where I thought to myself, like, you know, when I got it back, you know, why the fuck did I wait so long? And then, you know, I think that, as George says, is an element of everything's happened at the right time, and Ian is at a great point in his painting career. I then also, you know, sending off with the confidence to send it, and just basically all turns out great. Everyone's happy at the end of it. Looking at it now, you also then have the kind of buttons on his trousers here, the ropes going across his stomach, his legs, and then moving into the kind of skin tones on his hands. You have that, the nails,
done
really
well. Yeah.
But the face as well. The face, the big thing that I was very, again, reluctant to send it off to anyone, was the fact that I've seen a few, and they just look like the face has been painted white, and there's no like person underneath. It just looks like a pure solid white.
Mine.
You can't see the actual whites coming through. The skin tones coming through the whites. And I think that if you look through Where
Yeah, he's definitely got that. There's contours of the face coming
across
through
his
that
like
white.
forehead. There's like smudges there.
It does look like a man that's applied makeup as
Yeah.
opposed to someone that's wearing a mask.
There's also like
Yeah, so cool.
when Ian sent me pictures, because he's a great painter,
His
but he
pictures are
can't
wank
take,
as fuck.
he
Horrible
can't take
he
pictures
takes.
to save his life. And he sent me them, and I was like,
He's a grade down from you.
oh, yeah, he's worse than me.
He is. That's hard. That's hard. That's hard
I'm
work.
fucking terrible at taking pictures, but Ian, Jesus, man, and he's actually got a good camera phone as well. But anyway,
That just levels him out, doesn't it?
so when he sent them to me, I was like a bit like, fuck, he looks like the wrestler from WCW. It looks like Sting. And I was a bit like, oh man, has he fucked it up? And I was literally like, a couple of days while it was shipping, I was thinking to myself, oh fuck, I've got Sting on throne, you know. And it turned up, I got it out of the box, and you know, I'm really, really happy, really, really happy.
Killed it, man.
Can't rain all the time.
Yeah,
One of his best paint ups ever, I think.
I think yeah,
Easily.
fantastic job.
Great job.
Absolutely amazing.
Great sculpt from Narin. Captured the character perfectly.
Ian said
Excellent
as
job.
well, it's one of the cleanest prints he's ever painted. He says the print on it was such a pleasure to work on. So this is 14, just shy of 14 and a half inches.
I'd say 14 and a half inches, yeah.
So you're going to need about 37 centimeters on that. Depth on this is going to be to his foot there. So you're going to need about, I'd say about 30, just shy of 14, 13 and a half to 14 inches, which is going to be about 35 centimeters. And in the width
That's
is
the best part of it. Good width.
going to be there to there. So you're going to be
10?
about eight and a half
Oh, nice.
inches there. Probably 9 inches if you talk about that little bit of sticking out
Deet
there.
off, ready.
So 23 centimeters on there.
Wow.
It's going to be. And yeah, he fits in the detail perfectly. And I have him kind of not standoff against, but I have him opposite the
Mirrored.
Stanley.
Mirrored is the word
against,
you're
yeah.
looking.
So yeah, sorry I didn't let you talk that much there.
No, that's fine. I noticed that you're so happy with this piece, and it's lovely for me, you know, to see you very happy. Because you know what happens. We've been in this. No one. I mean, Jesus, who's lasted as long as we have doing this? It's a long old run that we've been on. People usually lose interest, even if they come back. Said everything come back, but they don't. You know, we've been steadily cracking on for a long while here, and it's really nice when you know your friend gets the passion back, because you know you can lose it after a few years of this sort of
Rowan
shit.
was looking up the channel today. He's like, you put out 1,500 videos. I was like, yeah, we actually put out more, but we deleted like 100 of them.
Yeah, you've deleted a few, but I mean, to see you happy, man, makes me happy. So I mean, I second everything you said. I think that when it comes down to capturing the character, like movie pieces is very hard, because you've got to capture. This is a real person. You've got to capture the person. You've got to capture the mood of the film. You've got to make it accurate, and you've got to make it look right. The portrait needs to be on. There's lots of things that can go wrong, and for me, this is the perfect Crow piece, and one of the best pieces in your collection for me, easily. I think this is an exceptional piece of art. And
That's the thing with comic book, you got that kind of like get out of jail free card.
reference
you can
art.
say,
Yeah.
you know, Superman's been going since 1930, whatever. You can always find something to refer
Looks
back
like
to,
your
to do it.
statue.
So
Yeah,
you go, yeah, well,
definitely.
that's Alex Ross art, or that's whoever. You know, you
In
can always,
Hook Lee,
always
it's,
refer
you know,
to someone.
Scarnets,
Is it
blah,
not
whoever.
Superman?
Huh?
Is it Hook Lee done Superman?
Don't know. Sure. In Hook Lee is one of my favourites, so I always use him as a reference point. But I actually think he is. This is fantastic, and I think that Ian is some of his best work. And it was a hard ask. It was a hard job, you know. So I think, you know, congratulations, and let us know what you think. If you like it, hit that like button. Give Ian some love and Narin some love.
Narin's also the guy who did the XM Studios Predator.
Yeah.
So he did the sculpt for that.
Yeah. And comment, give us your questions and whatever you're thinking. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you'll see any new content that we put out. And then you can follow us on, you know, you can see everything below our, you know, our details where to find us. But, you know, join us on Instagram, rad_Titan, and then join us on Facebook on our collectors group. Good bunch of people in there. We've got a nice harmony going, so jump in. The water's fine. Peace.
Peace out.